Hi, it's Maria here. Well, it doesn't get any more real than this. It's Saturday morning. I'm looking here at the clock. It's 10 to 11 Irish time. It is a little bit overcast outside, but it's brightening up. And it's our Irish bank holiday weekend. And here I am. Yes, I'm still in my dressing gown. This is the first. Drinking my mug of coffee, which is of course exactly what I do every morning. And I'm actually sitting in my seat exactly where it is normally, because when I go to make my videos, I move over there to where my treasure map is on my bookcase. But I decided today to keep this really real. I'm going to sit where I normally sit because this is how my life is, and this is the chair that I do most of my work from. I do my videos from, I come up with my concepts, and it's also the chair that I'd be sitting in when I have clients here. So I kind of live a lot of my life in this chair. So just want to let you see what my view is like as I'm looking out around the rest of the room. So this is my view as I'm sitting in my chair. There's my prosperity corner and the armchair opposite me and the window that faces my hall door, so I can actually see when anybody arrives. And that's where the snow bear formed in the snow of 2018. Formed all by himself. And here's my second fabulous marron palm, and then the window that faces right out to my gate. And then if I come around here, there's my treasure map, and there's where I normally make my videos. Cool, so now you know where I am and what my view is like, and it is actually a really spectacular room, and I have fabulous coving, and the energy is amazing in here, especially with my two fabulous marron palm paintings. And I do suggest you go and check her out because her work is really amazing, and it's very affordable at the moment, but it's really wonderful, and it's really energizing. She's just amazing, and I'm so grateful to have her fabulous art on. Well, soon will be hanging on the walls, but it's sitting there ready to be hung up. So yeah, so since yesterday evening when I made and shared the last video, I've made a bit of progress. So here's what I've been up to. So after I made the video yesterday, I went looking for a picture to change the couple here, and I remembered how when I crossed out the numbers for my classroom when I was writing my original affirmation, and I crossed it out from 15 or from 7 to 15, how I had to knock a wall and a chimney and do a whole lot of work to create the bigger space. So I thought, okay, I can't leave this girl underneath, I'm going to have to cut her out. And then I got this much better idea. So I got a piece of tracing paper, and I kind of had a go at drawing the guy in. And so now, so I don't feel like I'm cutting somebody else's husband or partner out of a magazine and sticking him in beside me, I have drawn an outline of my right man. And so already I feel that the energy of this vision board, this treasure map of mine, has changed because I'm no longer on my journey by myself. So let's see what happens next. So I decided that this table here in my sitting room where I work, that it is actually really annoying me how untidy it is. And it's almost 7 o'clock on Friday evening. I'm going to sort this out straight away. Likewise, I've got loads of things along my couch. And you know, it's time to start using this space as a living space and not a working space. So this is my before, and I'll be back shortly with my after. Isn't this just so much better now? So my couch is clear, and my fabulous marron palm, which needs to go on the wall, is now clear. And I've cleaned off the table, actually moved the table out, and then left these here for a reason. I use these guys around behind the back of the table to get all the energy moving. and I moved a whole lot of things out. So this feels great, and let's see what happens now. And then this morning I decided when I got up, and I actually jumped out of bed way ahead of when I planned. So when I got up, I decided I would make you a little video just to give you a feeling of how the house feels first thing in the morning with the changes that I've made. And I've also given you a little tour so you have a better idea of where my rooms are. So I got to work last night. Okay, so still not able to kill what some people would call the weeds, because I believe dandelions are medicine, and I think the forget-me-nots are from my granny. But I did take away most of the dead ones from down along the door. Still the old mat. Doorbell, still broken. It's been broken since my friend Oliver died. It stopped working that night, a bit like the grandfather clock. But look what I did achieve. So I've now transformed my porch, and I've taken my pop-up shop back out again. Still things here that are ready to leave. And I'm going to invest in a nice bunch of flowers, and I think I should just straighten this nice painting. That's the artwork from my affirmation cards. Whoops, good. Right, that's better. Cool, so I'm actually going to give you a little tour. So when you come in my whole door, you go in the corridor, and you can see some more of my artwork is down along here from my books, and because I'm storing it there at the moment. My candle stand has been turned into a hat and glove stand, and over here is where I have all my books. But again, these will all be going down to my classroom area when it's sorted. And here I've stored a table last night and moved it in the back. And then I moved my pop-up shop right along here. And then actually, if we go through the door, on the left, this is my sitting room where I mostly am. So this looks an awful lot better today, because I have the table cleared out, and my prosperity corner is looking good. And there's my second marvellous Mar and Pam painting that I'm so lucky to have. Oh, and the cloth is still on the mantelpiece. And then if you turn around here, panoramic view, this is where my treasure map is. And already it feels so much better, even just with the outline of the second figure there, where I'm now welcoming in my right man. So and then here is where I look out of my gates. Yeah, so now you have a fairly good idea what part of my house looks like. So with all of that out of the way, I'm just wondering, did you actually set an intention at the end of the last video? And if so, how's it going? And would you like to share, if you're following this on Facebook or on YouTube, do feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to know how everybody's getting on. I mean, I'm sharing this journey not for the sake of revealing everything to everybody else, but because I know myself, it's in listening to other people's stories and hearing what worked for them that I get inspired to do things and make changes. And that's why I'm doing this. So that leads me on to something that's been popping into my head since yesterday evening to share. And it's about a huge turning point for me. And, I've referred earlier in other videos to the fact that things were very difficult for me. And I know many people, especially in Ireland and probably throughout the whole world, in fact, had a very difficult time during the recession and after the recession. And I know many of us were brought to our knees, and even people who'd always felt secure and confident about their ability to provide and create enough income for themselves and their families, a lot of us were brought to our knees. And then unfortunately we got conditioned into
not trusting and not feeling as capable. And we started to have a lot of doubts in ourselves. And I know for a long time, in fact, I was terrified like to have a direct debit or anything that if a check bounced or if a payment bounced, like I just freaked out because all the way up to the recession, I always paid my bills on time, etc. But I got conditioned into fear. And what I want to share is a turning point, because I used to think, oh, something wonderful will happen, like I'll win the lottery and that will sort everything out. And in fact, I've just bought myself a lottery ticket online because I copped it's a day one today. And I am in my year one again, which is all about new beginnings in numerology, but that's a whole other different story. But going back to what I wanted to say, it's like, you know, I had to realize one day, and I was remembering what a good friend of mine, Mary Walsh, told me once, like, all our needs are always provided for. And it was a day when I was kind of wondering how in God's name was I going to pay this bill and that bill and afford food. And I was really struggling. And then I just thought, no, this is the thing. I keep thinking in the future I'm not going to have. And if you're constantly putting those thoughts into your head, you're creating problems for the future. And I thought, no, I have to just come back. And in this exact day, I have to now see evidence that I have everything that I need. And so I was in my kitchen at the time and I was going, okay, I can actually make a really tasty meal with exactly what's here. Instead of telling myself, I don't have this ingredient, I don't have that ingredient. And that's exactly what I did. And then I started to catch myself all the time and say, no, I do have everything I need. Instead of thinking, how am I going to do this? Or I'm not going to be able to afford to do that. And gradually I've actually managed to retrain myself into a place where I do actually trust that all my needs are met. And that's why I woke up this morning just so grateful. And I had planned to have a sleep in for at least another half an hour from now. But I jumped out of bed just so grateful that all my current bills are up to date. I've got some money in my bank account for things I need to do in the week ahead. That, I'm starting to see things improving in my business. And suddenly I'm starting to feel much more financially secure than I have done for ages. So, if you are feeling that sense of lack, just for today, and video cut out in mid-sentence. So do have a little think about where you can work on being more trusting in your life. And the other thing I would leave you with today is, where can you apply some of the changes that I'm implementing in my physical environment from doing my Happy Home book, so that your environment is more aligned with the life that you want to live and all the energy is flowing better to support you. So look forward to seeing you on another video again soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye.